What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Rowdy Player One channel. I am Rowdy, and today we've got a little different video. We're going to go with the top 10 tropes that I like or I think I'm going to really enjoy. And yeah, it's going to be fun. A lot of these I have read. There's a couple on here that I've not yet read, but I know they're going to be high on my list because I've heard great things about them. But most of these, yes, I have read at some point or something of them. So, without further ado, we know how to get started with this. There's an honorable mention because there has to be, otherwise, it's not a top 10. So, the honorable mention trope for me is going to be the retired bad man or woman, bad A, if you'd say. Try not to do any cussing on this channel. And that's going to be kind of some of the stuff I'd looked at would be kind of like the Tawny Man trilogy, which is some of the Realm of the Elderlings stuff by Robin Hobb. I've not read any of that, so I don't know anything about it, of course, but I think that's going to be awesome. You've got your really awesome hero or whatever that is retired and he's done and decides that he's got to come out of retirement to handle some business, to say the least. So that's my honorable mention. So now let's get to the top 10. At number 10, I'm going to go with Hero's Quest. And that would be something like Bilbo Baggins from The Hobbit or Frodo from Fellowship of the Rings. Or you could even do Darrow from Red Rising, I would think. I mean, after all the things, most everybody's heard, obviously, of, The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings. So, Red Rising, with Darrow, all the things that happened to him in the beginning of book one and what he goes through and is planning to do throughout this whole set of books. I think that is a really cool journey. So we're going to go Hero's Quest number 10. Number 9, we're going to go Found Family. And you could do something like Mistborn books, like Mistborn Era 1, with Vin, and Kelsier, and that whole crew. She was a just basically thrown to the side, in the streets, and he basically saves her and joins, and they become a family. You could also do The Way of Kings or Stormlight Archive with Bridge 4, where Kaladin, ends up joining them and turns them into, this awesome group, and things happen through the whole series. I mean, it's fantastic. And that's probably my favorite one, I guess you'd say, of Found Family. Another one from an indie author, you could do The Ballad of Spricket the Bard. I think that's got some Found Family stuff in it as well, with Spricket and Tao, and, their kind of core group. There's 3 or 4 of them that get together, and they all hate each other in the beginning, basically. And then, by the end of the book, they're a tight knit group and really close. So I think that would be another one of those. Let's go to number 8, and that's the Chosen One trope. Assassin's Apprentice, comes to mind. You could do, that's Fitz, of course. That's a long Chosen One journey, I guess you would say. Another one is Dune. You could do Paul Atreides in that. He's the Chosen One. I mean, it's just kind of his books, awesome, movies amazing. So that's that. Number 7, we're going to go villain's perspective. You could do something like Prince of Thorns. You could do The Black Company. You could do, let me ask you this. Does the First Law trilogy count as a villain's perspective? Because they're all kind of bad. I mean, you Galacta and Logan Nine Fingers, they're not good guys. I mean, they're basically bad guys. So I'm going to count that, but you can absolutely tell me I'm wrong. But I mean, don't get me wrong, I love them, but they're bad guys to me. So I would say that's kind of like a villain's perspective. Number 6, would be the redemption arc, which would be something like Severus Snape in Harry Potter. You know, no one likes him in the beginning at all. You know, he's not the best. We'll say that. And by the end, you know, if it wasn't for him, Harry Potter would be dead, basically. I mean, it's such a good arc. I really like Snape in those. I mean, excellent. You could do Jaime Lannister in Song of Ice and Fire. You know, same thing. In the beginning, he did some terrible, terrible things, and by the end, you're really rooting for him. It's kind of crazy. That whole journey that he goes on is just mind blowing to me. It's like, holy cow, how did that even happen? But anyways, Jaime Lannister, another one. Number 5, let's go with the farm boy to hero trope, where you could do something like The Wheel of Time with Randall Thor. You could do The Princess Bride with Jeffrey. You could do Aragon. I mean, all of these are really good farm boy to heroes, and trope wise, I think they're great. Number 4, coming of age. Now, there's these. I've not read these, but I know that's going to be high on my list. For one, I'm starting nearly all of these this year or next year. Coming of age, The Sword of Kagan. That actually it starts in March. I've heard a lot about it. Blood Song by Anthony Ryan. Heard a ton about it. Wheel of Time, you know, coming of age story, of course. You know, Randall Thor is one of them. Name of the Wind, you know, that's another one that's a coming of age. I mean, what I have read of some of coming of age is I really enjoy it. And I'm looking forward to getting to read a lot of like Stephen King, because he does really good coming of age stuff. Boy's Life, you know, I think that's coming of age as well. There's just so many that I so want to read. Number 3, we're going with the dragons trope. And that could be something like I said, Aragon before. Fourth Wing. Now, don't know if that's going to be my taste. I am reading ACOTAR now, which I know it's got nothing to do with Fourth Wing, but I'm enjoying ACOTAR, so we'll see. I will eventually read Fourth Wing. It's crazy, but you could do The Bound and the Broken over there. I mean, I love that series. I mean, it's so good. I'm continuing on reading it. It is fantastic. The Game of Thrones, you know, you've got all the dragons and all that in those books and TV shows. I mean, they're so good. I love dragons. That's obviously it's one of my favorite tropes, but just in general, like they're so cool. So that's my number 3. Number 2, let's go with God level threat, because you could do the Lord Ruler in Mistborn. You know, basically anything they do, he already has the answer to. I mean, obviously things happen in the end, but it's so good. You could do Stormlight Archive as well, you know, because you've got the Heralds and you've got Odium. You know, these are super powered God level threats. Like, I want to read more God level threat books and stuff. If you've got recommendations on that, let me know, because I'm very interested in it, because I loved all of those. Which Sanderson's really good at writing stuff like that. That's one of my favorites. But my number 1 so far that I've loved the most. What's the best way to counter God level threat? The one-man army, baby. Number 1 trope, one-man army. I love it. I mean, you've got, obviously, Superman. I would consider him a one-man army. He's a one-man everything. But my other one would be Sledge. Sledge is definitely a one-man army type person. Handle anything, gets beat down, doesn't matter, gets right back up. He's a dang tank. So highly suggest, if you haven't read Sledge, give that a shot. Let me know. Is there more one-man army, you know, books that I haven't read that I need to? Because I think they're my favorite trope by what I've read so far. Do y'all have any favorite tropes that you like? Let me know. I would love to hear them. If you would, leave a like on the video and share it out if you can. And subscribe to the channel. We are moving on up, finally past 300 subs. So let's keep on going. 400's the next goal. So let's get to it. Other than that, y'all have a good day. Bye.